Episode 3 already? How is that even possible? In this episode, we have some amazing snap builds. Like this one. And this one. In this episode of Bughy Wughy Wonderland, we're going to make the Clock Quarters food square, as well as the main entrance plaza. We also extend the awesome looking stained glass entrance and build a crazy looking clock like the one here. So make sure to stick around in the third episode of Bughy Wughy Wonderland. Let's go! Book, that was just beautiful. Thank you so much. Often in theme parks, when you enter the park, you have like a big main square or a main street. I was feeling making something similar, but the first thing I did was making a square of pathing and taking out some pathing so that I could fill it up with some theming. This is what it looked like. After that, I was going to fill in the grassy patches that I just made with some raised flower beds. But I had a really cool idea for these flower beds. But you'll have to wait till later to see what I meant. So yeah, I just put down some walls on the left and the right. They were slightly bigger than the grid that I wanted, so I had to do some awkward pieces placing. But I managed to make it work well, and this is what it looks like after placing it down. Now once that was done, I found some of these wavy pieces. From the entrance I had these blue wavy pieces, but I found these multicolored wave pieces, which I just put on the sides of the planters to make the walls look a little bit better. After I've done that, I applied some of these corner pieces with flowers on it in the same color as the wave pieces, and I filled in the middle with some dirt, so it's all nice and looking good. Then I took some part of the middle out because I thought it was long and boring, and I just polished it all and filled up with pathing. Then both on the left and the right, I filled in these these hedge arches, just overarching the pathing. And then I had a really cool idea. In the city where I live, there is an art piece, and it looks like this. And I wanted to make something similar to this, although obviously with my own twist on it. I was not going to make this big fancy tree. But I wanted to make a tree looking structure with red and green looking leaf structure. But look, that looks nothing like the art piece. I don't care. I like the way this looks. Then I used some of the beams and polished up the sides of these planters. Why is it always raining, by the way? Every time when I record it's raining. At least now we can change the weather in the newest update, which is nice. Then I placed down some benches, and on the left and the right side of each bench I create a little space using the path deleting tool, as you can see here, and then filling in the pathing again with the stamp tool. These little squares which cannot be walked by the guests. And I put some bushes down in there. This way the guests won't collide with it and they just walk around it instead. I did that both on the left side and the right side of the planters. And then on the left and the right as well for each planter. So in total I put down 8 benches and 4 bushes. This technique is super good if you want to prevent guests from clashing with objects. So you should try it for yourself. Then it was time to fill in the planters. I used some hedges on the edge first, and then I made some cool patterns on these planter boxes with these hedges. Kind of like DNA diagram or something like that. I don't know how to describe it. And then I filled in each of the sides with flowers. Very nice. And I did that for all 4. And then I used some objects like this barrel and a crate to create like pouring out flowers from a barrel. That kind of effect. You'll see here what I mean. It's pretty much the barrel fell over and the flowers have come out. So I just dropped down the flowers. They're coming out of the barrel, so it looks like they're pouring flowers. Did that for all 4 sides. Use the crate there. And another crate here. And one more barrel. I really like the look of that. Then it was time to build a little bit more on the entrance. The area between the entrance and the square. So I brought in some of the terrain, sunk in some rocks and placed down some bushes. Because I had a really cool idea on how to extend this stained glass window. Then I carefully placed down some of the trees that I've placed down earlier. I just copied it, changed the scale and rotated them around. This way you're keeping the tree consistent and you're not introducing any foreign trees. I wanted it to feel immersive as you exit the park or exit the entrance and walk onto this square. So when you look up, I wanted there to be trees and all the nature needed to be like perfectly done. So I'm sinking down some more hedges and some more bushes so it all looks nice and yeah, natural. Then I extended the archway on the back side of the park, so where you walk up to the square. And I just brought it down a little bit, extended it and built a second arch just before the square. And then I extended that arch in 4 different directions, so to the left, to the right, and then to the left straight and to the right straight. Like right and straight and left and straight. Like this. And then I applied the stained glass effect on these parts too, but you'll see later on. To be able to apply the same stained glass effect as I've done at the entrance, I needed another arch, and the arch needed to go in 4 different directions, like the arch above it. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm just placing down a secondary arch, I'd say, and then I can use that as a base to connect it to the top main arch, and then I create patterns which I can then fill in with stained glass, or not really stained glass, just these basic shapes, but they look like stained glass. At the time of building there wasn't any glass pieces, but at the time of recording now, it's the 15th of December, Planet Coaster has had an update and now we can have glass pieces, but unfortunately these are not colorable, so I wouldn't have changed the basic shape art that I've done here for stained glass pieces or actual glass, so I kept it the way it is. And then obviously I colored them all in with these basic shapes, which is pretty tricky because it's coloring between the line with shapes that are too big to fit, so they don't always fit in here. So I did that for all the little panels that I've just made, So here's a little montage of me coloring in all these arches, and it's gonna be very satisfying. I was so happy with the way that turned out, that I continued that same style and made some custom fences and have some kind of, what do you call it, mosaic looking fences like you see me here making. So I just applied different colors on different spots, and yeah, I did this both on the left and the right side, and it's looking really nice. After having placed down the fences, this is kind of what the entrance looks like now. You've got these really cool fences on the left and the right. Oh, and then you've got the entrance above there, full with stained glass looking. Very colorful, very nice. I forgot to put in another set of stained glasses, so here it is. It's nice. I then spend a little bit of time on placing down some trees and some bushes and some flowers on both the left and the right side. And that's it. Bob's your uncle. I mean, Bob's not really my uncle, but I mean, could be your uncle. I don't know. This is what it looks like. This has worked out so well. I mean, I'm so happy with this. After this, it was time to start working on the food court. Like a little food court that I had in mind. A little cozy area to just, you know, get your drink, your morning coffee, all that sort of stuff. Go to the bathroom. So I designed this area and put the pathing down first. After that, I create some room in the middle so I could put down some really nice planters. After that, to have a fully dedicated area, I decided to fence it in so that I don't allow myself to build outside these borders. This will force creativity as well as keeping the space nice and confined and cozy. I didn't want to build something extravagant and, you know, out there. So I wanted to keep it basic and simple, not too overwhelming. Then after thinking about it, I placed down a chief beef next to a Viva la vegan shop, which is really funny because they're completely counterintuitive. You've got the vegans against the carnivores right there. But yeah, I didn't think about that, but I think it's fine. No offense to the carnivores and the vegans, of course. So I connected both the shops together with some wooden planks to get a basic shape or basic feel for what the building was gonna look like. So I just placed down some wooden planks here. I added some of these really cool looking Viking stone walls that I think just worked so well with the building that we have. So I just placed down these walls on the back. You don't really see them, to be honest, but I ended up also incorporating a staff room in here, which you'll see later on. And then obviously I needed to blend in the shops with the stone wall and with the wood. But these angles that I've created here, they were really tricky to work with. to build a roof on, and you see me really struggling later on. But it worked out well. Then I applied some cool looking trims. I tried to install some roof sections, but I was really struggling, so I deleted it and then brought it back in. And these angles that I created for myself here really did not work in my favor. So I ended up building it, deleting it, building it again, deleting it again. I then slowly but surely started getting an idea of how to get this roof together. And I thought if I put in some of the main sections first, so like these back roof pieces, then turn the top of the shops into squares, and then just find ways on how to connect the walls together and where I wanted to have roof sections. So you see me installing some roof pieces here, and then in all reality it is just extending the walls together and then putting more roof sections on so that it's all nice and polished like you see me do here. Just trying to bring it all together, which is really hard, and I struggled. I would lie if I said this was easy. This is not easy. But because I had all these awkward angles, it just took a lot of time of fiddling around, but it ended up working well. Now once you have the basic structure, you can start putting on some roofs and then fill in the sides of the roof panels. Obviously I was going to have to make this connect together somehow, and so I thought I'd put a cool looking tower in the back. And then I got the idea of, what if I turn this into like a clock tower? And that's where the name comes from, the clock square. Which is pretty much just an area where you can sit down, and I played around with a couple of different variants of roofs, but I ended up going with just a standard clock tower. Obviously I still had to make the clock, but it made it work and blend in together really well, this tower in the middle. Then it was time to apply some trims and make the walls and the shops and the roofs all pop a little bit more and make it more good looking, so to say. So this is all by just adding trims in and roof trims and all that sort of stuff. I knew I was going to use the rotation pieces to make this clock, but first I needed a base. So I used this metal aquatic piece and I rotated it, and then I made it a little bit bigger and changed the color so it looks like it has a rim. And then there's these awesome like text pieces that we can use now, so you can just change the lettering, and I thought if I use that and change it into numbers, I would actually be able to make a functioning clock. So I spent some time in fitting all these numbers and making sure that they're all the right size. And then obviously use the animatronic piece to attach the pointers or the indicators. I'm not sure what the English word of that is. This is kind of how it rotates, just random. I thought it looked really cool instead of an original clock. Then I made the planters and put some plants in it. Now here you see I've made a hole into the square right there. This hole is going to be there for a reason, because I wanted to put a piece of art down in it. Now the basic idea I had was making some kind of fancy looking umbrella and applying some of these stained glass looking pieces that I've got throughout my entrance. Apply some of those stained glass looking techniques into here to turn it into a stained glass umbrella tree looking structure. So after making the basic shape, I could drag it out and actually start building it. And all of this just making one, and I used that to rotate it around to make it into a fully fledged tree umbrella. thingy, majiggers. I don't know what you call this, it just looks cool. I then placed down some smaller objects like bushes in these planters, which looked really cool by the way. And also some benches and some bins. And I had to really think about where I was going to put these benches down, because this area was going to be quite crowded because there's 3 shops. Obviously some shops will attract more people than others, but I couldn't put them down in the middle of the pathing, for instance, like where I'm doing there now. That is not a good spot, so I deleted it. Because people would literally be lining up to there, and if you're sitting there you just have people walking into you and stuff. And then I thought it would be a good idea to have a little bit of a back of the house kind of situation. And I placed down a staff room, and the staff that work in the shop get to go and walk behind there to have their lunch breaks. Very nice and convenient and out of sight. And then I had to incorporate the shops with the building, which took a little bit of time because I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. But I think I did well. I came up with some cool ideas, and yeah, this is what it looked like, all nice and incorporated. But Book, if I need to poo or to pee, where the fuck do I go? Well, you go to the toilet, which obviously was lacking because there's no toilets in the park so far. So I built some toilets so you can go and take your crap. Very nice. This is what it looked like after I finished the shit house. It was all still quite flat around the building, so I used the terrain tool, terraformed some terrain, and my inner Bughuul was channeled. By the way, if you want to know how to make cool landscapes, check out the video that is now on the top right corner. It is a tutorial on how to make realistic landscapes. I'd highly recommend, and so does Bughuul. Just like that. So, after raising the terrain, I sunk in some rocks. And yep, here we go. Sunk in some rocks. And obviously some bushes, and put down some trees. And it looks so much better than the flat crap that was there before. I'll do the sound effects for this snap build. After spending all this time building, this is the end result. Let's look at this entrance first. We've built this entrance in episode 2, this section, as well as the stained glass section. We've built this fully entrance at episode 1. Make sure you check it out if you want to see how it's made. Make sure you check out video 2 if you want to know how this is made. But now we're gonna focus on the back side of the entrance. And here you see this beautiful stained glass that I've just pretty much copied from there. And I just extended it. So as you can see here, various colors, green and red, and then a slightly smaller arch compared to the main arch, which comes out at like 2 directions as well. So as you walk through here, it's actually a really nice sight. Like, look at all these colors. So happy the way this turned out. And here you have the fence with the different colors as well, the mosaic looking fence. Really cool how that turned out, both left and right, with some like grassy stuff. And then this is the main square. So this is where you'll be received in the park. Might have some like entertainment gathering point somewhere on the ends or something like that for guests to like, you know, meet and greet with Queen Splash and Planet Coaster, you know. And these are these really cool looking flower beds that I made. I'm so super happy with the way this turned out in this little custom art piece. And then some seating, and then same here. And then same here. It's pretty much a duplicate of this side, but the top flower beds, they are completely different. Same type of effect, but different. Then we've got the little clock quarters. I spent a little bit more time on adding some more love hearts and incorporating the latte love building, as well as the chief beef burger building. I just put some burgers down here. And vegan. And yeah, this is the clock tower that I made with the animatronic pieces. It looks like they're going in the same direction now, but they're literally go random. You'll see at some point one of these is going to change, and then they start re-rotating or going really fast in one direction, or slow in the other direction. See, now this one is like going faster, and this one is actually stopping. And now it's rotating the opposite way. It's at random. I thought it would be really cool to have it at random. I just like it. It's really a really nice addition to the square, like the clock quarters. I just think it works really nice. Some seating areas. This custom tree that I made, I think looks really cool. And then yeah, here some more seating areas, and then here some toilets. And then if you go through here, it's a sign that says staff only. This is like nicely incorporated. And then there's a staff room in the back. And if you go in here, like, oh, you can actually see there's someone inside. I could have like maybe make a walkway through this or something. Maybe that's something I can do. Oh, there's a shop here. There's no way that that's gonna work. Maybe from like this way through here or something like that, and out here. I don't know. It's an option. But I think I might leave it the way it is now. I'm really glad how it turned out. I'm super happy. Look how fast the clock's going. So yeah, this is the end result. Thank you all so much for watching once again. At the time of recording, I'm on 991 subscribers. So maybe by the time you see this, I might have passed 1,000 subscribers, which I am incredibly grateful for. I'm beyond grateful for everyone that's been supporting me, and all the guys in the comments and the girls, and honestly, you guys are amazing. I've been getting some messages as well from people asking, or like telling me how cool they think my videos are, my content, and that they got hooked, which is really nice. Look at this clock. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching once again. I really appreciate you all, and I hope to see you all in the next episode. And in the next episode, we're gonna build a ride. Maybe our first ride. Here, it might be a flat ride, it might be a coaster. I've got a cool idea of how I can incorporate a coaster with this building. But there's definitely gonna be something here, as well as on this side. So, if you want to check it out, make sure to subscribe to my channel. Give the video a like if you like this stuff. If you don't like this stuff, give it a dislike. I don't really mind. And let me know in the comments how I could improve my content. Things that you want to see, things that you don't want to see, things that I'm doing that you don't like. Please let me know. I would love to learn from you guys what you guys like, obviously, and become a better content creator. So yeah, and I genuinely mean that. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!